Number one is I could make the argument with nutritional and training standards. 40 is now 35. You can see it in Hollywood. Actors age better.
They use Botox.
Well, he may be using arm Botox. But when I look at athletes today, even in the NBA, Dwayne Wade's erosion is much slower than guards I grew up watching. Secondly, it's not just about Super Bowls now. Warren Moon, who was my favorite player, because I grew up in Seattle with the Washington Huskies. There are rare instances. Some people, the DNA gods just gave him a lot of gifts. And Tom hasn't always played with great backs, hasn't always played with great receivers, but he's played with really good offensive lines. It's a bubble screen league. Tom doesn't get hit much. This is a young 39-year-old quarterback.
What about going out on top? What about going out the way Jim Brown went out, the way John Elway went out? What about going out relatively injury-free? They don't have Michael Bennett coming after him when he's 40, 41. He's one hit away. Why not? 5th Super Bowl? Why not retire?
Because he's chasing something nobody's ever chased before. He's setting the new standard. That's what Tom Brady's about. He's setting a whole new standard. What if he wins 10 Super Bowls? What if he wins 11 Super Bowls? That's the kind of man he is. He's chasing something greater than any other player has tried to do before.
Ray, you faced this situation not long ago. You went out on top.
Yeah, I mean, look, I talked to Tom about this. This was funny. At the Super Bowl 2 years ago, Carolina and Denver, I'm watching at the MVP salute. And so we're sitting there, and I said, how many more years you gonna go? He said, man, I'm gonna go another 5. And I looked at him and I saw he was really serious. I think for me, it was a little bit different because my kids are older. And the last phone call that I got that changed my perspective on if I wanted to keep playing was my son said, Dad, we have our championship game on Friday night. And my son's a senior high school, and I'm saying, wait a minute. I done played 17 years, 16, 17 years. My son just told me he playing his last high school game. My father's never saw one of my high school games. And I'm like, I can't fight with that anymore. Like, so for me, I gave up the game because I wanted to be there for my kids to chase them.
You were also in the collision business.
Yeah.
So were you. And
Brady's
so
not. Brady's
Tom's in the whatever business that is.
You get hit.
Occasionally, and I mean
They hurt,
occasionally.
But he's also the quarterback that slides. These young quarterbacks, they all want to be fancy. They all want to be spin moves. Tom Brady's like, I'm about to get sacked. Sorry, Belichick. We'll do it on the next down.
Listen, Tom Brady's got a great life. And, you know, I pose no judgment to no man when it's come to playing football. I played football. It's easy for us to sit over here and be like, hey, you know something? You should walk out of that spotlight. Like, you should go do something else. Like, when you retire from the National Football League, every job you get is 2nd or 3rd or 4th choice. Ray quit, I'm gonna tell you why. He got knocked out the game, all right? His son was calling, fatherhood was calling him, but that body was calling him too. Jim Brown walked out on top. The rest of them, John Elway, he got knocked out. He couldn't play. John Elway couldn't run anymore. John Elway's knees were gone. All right, Tom Brady is sitting upright. He's playing the best football of his life, and he approaches 40. Now, he should set the new standard. He should put this out there as far as it could be to let people know that the argument's not between who is the best quarterback. The next argument is who is the 2nd best quarterback if he gets 2 more Super Bowls. Yeah. So if you got it, stay in the light. Don't give up. Don't look, because there is no job. You won't be satisfied. I've had a lot of good jobs since I left the NFL. All of them, none of them were nearly good like playing where you're doing that right now.
But let me be very clear.
Don't say that too much. They might fire you.
No.
This is his best job.
Yeah, okay. I got security here.
I tell you this. But make sure I clear this up. I don't care what Tom does. And every champion will tell you this. There's nothing when you leave this game ever better than having confetti drop on the top of your head to live a champion the rest of your life.
Yeah.